What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Let's jump right into our first story. My wife left me after she got in shape and now wants to get back together. I'm not sure why I am posting this. I probably want some validation as my life turned upside down recently. I, 32 male, was married to my wife, 33 female, for 4 years, and we had a great marriage so far. I was madly in love with my wife. She fell into depression mainly due to her job in 2022. I tried to support her in every way and suggested her going to the gym or doing any kind of sports to de-stress. I had my own depression episode before we got married, and what saved me was going to gym. She agreed to that and we started going there together. I could not go as frequently as in the past since my workload got heavier after my promotion. However, I tried my best to be there with her. She used to be a bit chubby, which I loved, and after seeing some changes with her body, she started to go there regularly. It also helped her with depression and she got better. I was really happy to see her get better and livelier. She looked more confident, got more aggressive in bed, and so on. However, after a while, that confidence level started to affect our relationship for the worse. She started going to the parties and going outside to a point she completely stopped doing her share in the house. That proceeded with me seeing her getting flirty with a guy at a meetup we went to. I communicated my feelings to her, and she dismissed these. After several of these, I had her sit down with me and told her that she is riding high on her newly found confidence and emotions right now. I clearly stated she should not make decisions or actions according to that confidence right now. I know it well. It was one of my worst traits. I used to be extremely emotionally driven in the past. I suggested we go to a marriage counselor and hell broke loose. She said vile things to me like how she realized she settled down with me after getting better and she could do much better than me. She said I am insecure and other things. This woman used to be the sweetest person on the earth, and I was shocked after hearing the things she said to me. She filed for divorce the following month, and I did not hear much from her, other than some lawyer talks. Our court seeing is scheduled to be next month, and my lawyer told me there is a high chance it'll be concluded then. There is not much to share. Similar income, only shared asset is our joint account, similar savings, and no kids. House is my mom's, so it's out of division. I accepted that my marriage is going to end like that. Last week she called crying and told me she regrets everything. She apologized over and over again, but I felt disappointed. Not angry, not sad, but just disappointed. She did not text me nor call me even once since the divorce started. I didn't even know where she was since she just left home. I told her there is no going back now. She has been messaging me nonstop. My family supports my decision and tells me I should not back down. My in-laws were shocked when they heard about the divorce. They are now telling me to rethink everything. I will 99.9% not back down, but as I said, just looking for validation and maybe wanted to vent. Thank you for reading. And let's check the comments for more context. Someone asked OP if there was a real reason why his wife left him after getting healthy. OP responded with, I did not even understand why she left me after getting in shape. I am in shape too. It's not like I was overweight. It has been a while since going to the gym before we started together, but I was not in bad shape at all. I could probably get back to my shredded years with 1 year of regular workout. Another user asked, how long were you separated? Did she tell you why she made the mistake? OP replied with, about 5 months. She did not specify it. I'm not sure what happened that made her call me crying. I think she had already replaced OP with another guy and later got dumped, or she realized that she was being used for sex and that nobody cared for her as deeply as OP. Now she's realizing the grass isn't greener and regretting her actions. And the update after 2 months. We are officially divorced. There was not much to share, so it went smooth as a butter according to my lawyer. I've never talked to her other than through lawyers as much as she wanted me to. She tried to talk to me one-on-one and get closure, but I just do not want that. It's not that I do not care why she left me, what she did during that time. I just do not want to know. I've been living without her for months now. At first, it was difficult, and I cried all night some days, but after a few months, I feel like I came to accept everything. What peace will it give to learn what and why when I already accept everything other than hurting me? For once, I want to prioritize my peace of mind in this whole process. My parents and friends are here to support me, and I am glad that I have such a great support circle. As for what my plans are, renovate my office room in the house, get back to the gym, and live my best life. I've been wanting to renovate my office room for a while now, and that's what I'll start with. I started hitting the gym at the same time. I believe my body is good, but I have some extra fat. Dieting proved itself difficult because I am a tiramisu addict. For the dating part, I downloaded a few apps and tried out how I am doing. I got a decent number of matches, but realized I do not feel like doing it right now. I'll focus on my own hobbies, well-being, and wants for now. Thank you for all the support and help in the last post. No need to talk to her. She's just trying to ease her guilt and will likely blame you for making her leave. Congrats to you, OP, for moving forward. Next, the second story, titled, Moving Away from Temptation, 1,300 Miles Away. I, 34 male, caught my wife Claire, 33 female, cheating at her affair partner's house when she was supposedly out on a girls' night out a couple of months ago. She confessed everything and let me go through her phone to prove it. They only had sex once, and I caught them as they were spending their second night together. We have 2 young children, and she pleaded for a second chance. I said we would get some therapy and try and work through this. While I had her phone, I synced it to our iPad to read through her messages. Besides confirming her infidelity story, I found out 3 of her friends knew and had encouraged her to cheat. Betty, 33 female, who Claire went to high school with, was also having an affair, and I sent some damning copies of their texts to her husband. I told Claire I was uncomfortable with her hanging out with them, given their history, and that they were still trying to sow discontent and drive a wedge between me and Claire. Since then, Claire has been on her best behavior and has cut way back on her contact with her friends until a couple of weeks ago, when she told me Tammy's birthday was coming up, and they all wanted to go out and celebrate. I said I wasn't comfortable with her going out with them, but if she wanted to go, I would go with her. She felt that was a bad idea given my history with them, and after talking it out, she decided not to go. The next day, I got a call from Tammy telling me what a controlling piece of crap I was for micromanaging Claire's life. Claire didn't attend the celebration and gave me the silent treatment for a few days. So I had a conversation with my boss. They have been after me for a few years to move up into a bigger role in the company, and I told him I was ready to step up, and we discussed my options. I had a couple of choices and went with the office in New Mexico. My wife was born and raised in Chicago when I told her we were moving to New Mexico. She threw a fit. All her friends and family live in or around Chicago, and except for vacations, she had never been outside the state. I mentioned Tammy's birthday and how I got frozen out when she didn't go to the party, and said I was tired of them affecting our relationship even after I expressed concern about her staying in contact with them after they encouraged her to cheat on me. Claire has barely spoken to me. She cried the other day when the realtor put the sign up in front of the house. I have a realtor in Santa Fe looking for a few houses for me to look at when I go out to the office there next week. My Chicago realtor already has 3 people ready to make an offer and says we should have a contract next week. I spent Saturday bringing stuff down from the attic and getting it packed up. I would love to get moved before the 4th of July, but that may be pushing it. In the long run, getting my wife away from her toxic friends will give us a better chance to repair our marriage. I hope it gives us a fresh start free from some of the drama we have had to deal with. Side note, my mom talked me into drawing up a prenup before we got married, so the house and some other assets I inherited are protected just in case. I make almost twice what she makes now, and after the move, I will make at least 3 times what she does now. The community I am looking at has a population of about 3,000, which will be a culture shock as well, but we are only 30 minutes away from Santa Fe. And the update? Another couples counseling session today. After some feedback from here, I decided to put my foot down on Claire, cutting all contact with her friend group. She pushed back on it, not surprising, but I was ready for it and had several texts from them that I read out loud. Some encouraged her to hook up with her old flame, and several attacked me. Then I read some from the last few days saying she should divorce me for trying to get her to move away, and more attacks directed towards me. I read some of her replies that agreed with some of what they said, and that she was unhappy and conflicted. It surprised her that I knew about these. I asked her if she wanted to call it quits, and that I would give her a quick resolution, but I wanted sole custody of our girls. She said I misunderstood her answers to them, and she still wants to stay together as a family. Then I said she needed to cut all contact with them from now on if we had any chance to work things out, as they were going to continue to try and undermine any progress we made. On the drive home, I logged into my Reddit account and let her read this post. After she finished reading it, she just sat in silence the rest of the way home, just looking out the window. Not much conversation after we got home while we focused on dinner and getting the girls ready for bed. After they were asleep, Claire showed me a message to her friends saying she felt they hadn't had her best interests at heart lately, and she had made the decision to choose her family over them and wished them a happy life. She said she is still unhappy about the move, but understands and will get on board. I said we would fly her mom and dad out for the girls' birthdays and fly back to Chicago for the holidays, which made her happier. The girls are excited to fly for the first time this Thursday. We have at least 6 homes to look at while we are there. My realtor here in Chicago has 3 offers and maybe one more before the end of the week, all more than my original asking price. I got a couple of big wins today, but I'm still having problems sleeping. As many of you have reminded me, she still has to make the decision not to cheat every day, and that thought will live in my head from now on. And that's exactly why you should have divorced her. Now she'll resent you and just look for another excuse to cheat. And let's take a quick look at the comments before we wrap this up. Someone said, "It might be better to end the marriage now if you don't have kids." OP replied with, "We have 2 daughters, 4 and 6. While I still love my wife, I doubt reconciliation would be on the table if it weren't for them. The move had been talked about before the affair happened, and while she wasn't crazy about the idea, it was a logical step in my career. I had been delaying this until the girls got a little older, but now seems like the time to pull the trigger." Another user said, "I'd get the kids DNA tested and do it in front of her. You have no idea how many guys got between her legs since you've been with her." OP replied with, "The kids were both tested a couple of years ago to screen for a genetic disease. They are mine, and luckily did not inherit the bad gene that we were worried about." Another user asked, "What's happened to Betty?" OP replied with, "Betty's husband has filed for divorce and sent her packing. He is husband number 2 for her, and cheating was the cause of her last divorce. As they say, once a cheater, always a cheater." And that's it for today. Dear viewers, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out. Until next time, bye-bye.